Hello, it's Electric Brian here, and it is raining pretty nice out right now. It's only going to be raining harder and harder throughout the day.
Rainfall totals 2 to maybe as much as 4.5 inches of rain. We do have an excessive rainfall outlook for the potential for flash flooding. We have a flood watch out for everybody.
And I have some shopping to do, so I'm going to be taking my 2023 Model 3. Has hardware 3, so it's on 12.5.4 of full self-driving. So I'm going to be trying full self-driving in this torrential rain throughout the day. Wish me luck. Alright, the first place I'm going to go to is Target. I'm pulled over on the side of the road. All I did was press down to start full self-driving. It pulled out. I didn't have to touch the accelerator at all. So the rain is coming down nice and hard now, and it's garbage and recycling day, so there are garbage and recycling bins everywhere. The car was not smooth at all around that turn. It was very herky-jerky. It's like I didn't see the garbage cans in time. Made last-second decisions. Very cautious. Ooh, and jerky around this turn. It started to turn and threw the wheel back. There's a manhole cover. Why does it have to hit that every time? Fast around this turn. Stop, and acceleration isn't too bad there. Right now it has indication on the dash here that full self-driving may be limited, maybe degraded. Just turning and climate on auto to defrost here, defog. So it can't go yet, it's just pulling out to sea. And after this car, it's clear, so it just has to go, and nice job. Except it gunned it up to 25 just to hit the brakes to take an immediate right. I wish it would handle that better. Sure you can hear it. The rain has really started to pick up. Sorry about the noise, but it's pouring up. Take over immediately. Poor weather detected. It didn't. Sorry, there's someone behind me. Sorry, person behind me. Wow. A little bit of rain. It won't turn back on full self-driving. That's weird how at the stop sign it pulled out and then stopped, and then there was someone behind me, so that was awfully awkward. And then it started like pulling away from the curve a bit. I thought this was supposed to be better, or at least as good as human drivers. Let's see. Okay, I turned it back on. So it may be degraded. I don't know if the windshield was still a little fogged up. Okay, around some of the turns where there were garbage cans, it was definitely super jerky. Even some of the turns there weren't, it was super jerky. And then once the rain started coming down pretty hard, it turned off full self-driving. The rain let up a little bit, but now it has picked up again. So it's coming down pretty hard. And so far, FSD just is saying that it may be degraded. Should be a pretty easy road here. So everything's clearly labeled. Clearly, you can see lights from far away. Although it's a red light and it's coming up to it awfully hard, I had to use friction brakes because it did not plan properly. acceleration off the stoplight was stronger than it should be. We left all the other cars in our dust. No need to do that. Oh, hard phantom braking. Oh, that was really hard phantom braking. That was terrible. There was a green light. There's nothing anywhere around us. And it braked hard. Now there's a red light. It's not slowing down. I really wish it would slow down for this red light. Start slowing down. Okay, it's using brakes again. So target's right here. We'll be taking a right. Now it'll probably try to bring me right to the door. This is not. That's a curb. Okay, it didn't hit the curb. I don't understand its indecisiveness. I don't know. Is it? So turn on the signal very early to take this left. It's a dead end. You have to turn left. It's probably going to bring me right to the front door. I do wish it would find me a close parking spot in this heavy rain. No, that looks closed. Okay, it's going around this pedestrian crosswalk sign, and it stopped here. It doesn't say it's done. It just put on its left blinker. No, it's okay. There's some handicap spots here. There's a spot right here it could take. I'm going to take over and just claim this spot. It missed one spot. So that wasn't a great drive. One time it totally disengaged, I had to take over. Full self-driving disengaged on its own, and one time it braked very hard, and a couple of times the turns were very herky-jerky. Alright, now I'm going to go across the street to Walmart. Since I don't have version 13, there's the rear cross traffic alert was showing up. That's a new feature in the holiday update this year. So anyway, since I don't have version 13 of full self-driving, I had to back out myself. But once I go into drive here, I just turned on full self-driving. Let's see how it handles the front of the store. It needs to go left. I don't know why the wheel was spinning to the right. Very jerky. Okay, it was correct to be cautious through the line of cars. We're approaching a red light, so it could start slowing down now. It's sped up instead. Right now it's barely rating at all. The wipers are on auto. They should be going very low right now, but they're picking up in intensity. I don't understand the auto wipers and how they're so bad. The rain, we're actually in a very, very light drizzle time now, and it's wiping pretty hard. I do also wish that the Tesla wipers had more options for intermittency. There's only like one intermittent option. There should be two slower than that. Like and comment if you agree. Okay, the light finally turned green. The entire drive should have been like 3 minutes, and that light was like 3 minutes. And we just made it through, even though we're the fourth car. So Walmart is right here on the left. The end of the navigation is nowhere near the entrance, so let's see what it does. So we are at the end of what it shows as the navigation. Taking a right. Looks like we're headed right towards the main entrance, where I never park, but maybe there'll be a spot today. It's early on a Wednesday morning. There was a spot. It didn't take. The spot is blocked by a cart. No, there's a small car in it. Oh, it stopped hard for no reason at all. Taking over because it is not doing a good job at all. Too many disengagements in parking lots. And I am headed off to my next stop. I just I'm going to Dollar Tree and turned on full self-driving. It's thinking about what to do now. I'm just pulled off to a curb in a parking lot. The exit's right here. So it's turning the wheel as though it wants to go that way, but it's not. There's the wheel again. It just has to get going. I'm gonna give it a tiny tap of the accelerator, and yep, ever so slight tap of the accelerator, and now it goes. Although it's phantom braking, it has to turn right. Oh, okay, it doesn't have to turn right. It's just so much faster to turn right. So I want it to turn right here because this light takes forever if you turn left. Although there is traffic now. So navigation wants to turn left. I'm in the right turn only lane. I have my right blinker on. Will it turn? Oh, it's not going right on red. It should have gone right on red there. I'm going to tap the accelerator now that it is clear. And it is not turning right on red. That was weird. So now they have it going this way. I'll trigger full self-driving again. Again, full self-driving may be degraded. Well, is it or is it not? There's a red light up ahead. But now it's green. I think it's going a way I don't really want it to go, but I want it to pass these slow cars at least. So I turned on the turn signal and it properly got over for me. Now it is passing all the cars. It has its right turn signal on. So it turned the right signal on before the intersection. It waited to get through the intersection and then got over. I guess that's proper. We were not letting the van next to us that wanted to get in. If I was driving, I would have caught up to the truck a little bit to let the van behind me merge in. But full self-driving just maintained the speed. Now this little exit, we're going to be taking a left at the end of this ramp, and full self-driving has had a hard time getting into the proper lane and slowing down properly. So we're going pretty hot and heavy here into this stoplight. The left turn signal's on, but it's okay. It did do a better job of getting into the left lane. It kind of was late, but really no issue with it. It just would have been nice if it was super confident and got into the lane immediately, and now this turn isn't super confident. This is a pretty high-speed, narrow 4-lane road with a big hill and twists. But full self-driving has not really had a problem with it in the past, so it should be okay today in the rain. Really wish there were some sort of like a Jersey barrier between these lanes. The speed limit is 40, but people like to go 55. Not sure why we're in the left lane. Our destination is on the right in a bit, but just for safety along these turns, it seems like the right lane's better. We're slowing down way too much for a green light. We're slowing down way too much for a green light. Okay, now it's speeding up again. That was very awkward. Now, our right turn is immediately after this intersection, and it's not getting over okay. It did find a hole and got over. So that wasn't too bad. It did seem like it wasn't going to be able to make it over in time, but it did. We stopped very short of the stop line because the car was in front of us. It turned right on red, and FSD did not pull forward, so I'm going to tap the accelerator just to get us up to the stop line. That's a good 6 feet. Alright, our right turn is right up ahead, and there's a big bump as it turns in. Let's see if it's going to go slowly enough. Okay. I don't know if it was by chance. Oh, where are you going? That's the worst when it just throws the wheel back and forth. I'm going to park right in front because of this rain. So it did okay there, and definitely the bump getting in, it did a nice job. It went nice and slowly, but maybe just because it was taking a right-hand turn, but either way, it was quite comfortable. Okay, those were all pretty easy drives. Now I'm going to give it a little bit of a harder one. I'm going to Penzie's Spices in the next town over. So I put it into drive. I backed into a parking spot, a pretty tough one because it's super tight. So it looks like it's going to go around that way, which is fine. It'd be a very tight turn to take a left here. So I just turned on full self-driving, and it has the blue line like it wants to go, but it's not going. So I am just going to tap the accelerator. It didn't react to that one, so I gave it a little bit harder, and I had to tap the accelerator harder than the last time. But we are off. It's cutting through parking spaces, which I would have done too. Oh no, what's it doing? The wheel is freaking out. every indication is for it to go this way. I don't know why it was freaking out so much. I'll never know why. Okay, we're at the same entrance with the big hill there. It's completely clear. Alright, it handled that pretty well. It just should have gone sooner since it was completely clear. It's not like it even creeped forward for visibility, it just waited a while. So it's a pretty straight shot once I don't know why that just happened. It got over to the right, now it's straddling the line, and now, so it signaled to get to the left, then it straddled the line, and did signal it back, and now it's taking this turn. Like, it should take this turn, but I have no idea what was happening back there. There were no cars around at all, so that was good. But it just decided to straddle the line. I'll have to check the recording to see if it recognized the lane lines or not. Anyway, as I was saying, it's a pretty straight shot the rest of the way. But it gets a little more interesting once we get close to it, because this road is very narrow, 4-lane road. It has no business being 4 lanes. And then it's kind of a downtown, small downtown area. The light just turned yellow, and FSD did a great job there going through the yellow light. It didn't freak out and it's brake hard. The rain has really lightened up, but the wipers are still on high, on a pretty high setting. It should be on a intermittent setting less than this even. Probably can't see this house over here on the right, but they have a roof that's about 80 degrees and they have solar panels on it. That must have been quite the install. It's such a steep roof. It's probably not much of the day where they get optimal sun, but at least they do have solar panels. Super light, it's still saying that full self-driving may be degraded. I really wish the wipers weren't on right now. Did a pretty decent job pulling around the mail truck that turned and then it did have its left blinker on, so it should have gotten around faster sooner, but it handled it pretty well. I'm gonna press the accelerator to have it turn right on red. I didn't want to wait for it to see what it would do. There was no turn on red sign. There was a sign that said do not block intersection. Or, sorry, do not block driveway. Maybe it thought that was a no turn on red sign, although I don't believe it reads signs. This road does have a lot of times where a lane opens for a turn and then so it gets a little wider to add that lane, and then it gets narrower, so it did a very good job at the last one, just staying smoothly through the lanes right down the middle of the line. There was some work done on the road, so there's a narrow strip where it's all dug up. It has since been repaired, but poorly. It's riding with the right tires in that the whole way here. Obviously anyone would have just scooted over to the side a little bit to avoid that. brake, hard phantom brake. There was like a repaired section of road that was smooth, but it braked hard. I don't know if that's what tricked it. Maybe it thought it was a speed bump. I don't know, but it was definitely phantom braking. And now you're going too fast to the red light. Oh no, why didn't you slow down earlier? That's one of the most frustrating parts of full self driving, is that it doesn't slow down in time. Alright, we beat the guy off the line next to us because it was a quick merge after the intersection, so that was good. It wasn't even rough acceleration. It was quite comfortable. I guess the guy next to me slept a bit. That's what's good about FSD. It'll go even if you're not paying attention to when the light changes. Manhole cover, it nailed it. Just go around this car here. It didn't have to slow down like that, just swing right around. The car had its right blinker on, it was in the shoulder. Just had to swing right around it. There was no one coming. It slowed down and was a little hesitant. Okay, this is, through this intersection is where the road starts to get really narrow. It's going 26 and a 30 right now. So the speed limit is 30 and it's going 32, which is justifiable, that's for sure, with how narrow it is. A lot of cars do tend to speed through there. So it did a great job on that section. Now we're about a minute from our destination. It gets a little bit tighter. Oh my god, it just stopped hard. Wow. Why did it do that? It is street parking only where I'm going. Hope there's a spot on nearby enough. Be great if FSD pulled into one of them. There's a car pulling out of a parking lot, so that's why it slowed down. Our destination is just right up here on the right, so any of these spots would do. It has its signal on. Nope, I'm going to take this spot myself. Well, it did put its signal on to turn, but it wasn't going to pull into this spot, and it looked like this was the last one available. But I am right out front, so that's nice. Alright, it did a good job on that section, besides a couple of phantom brakings. Gonna buy some spices now. Okay, I had a really successful trip to Penzies. I'm backing out of this spot myself here. And then once I put it into drive and start going, I guess, putting it into full self-driving, there's a man walking across the street. And a red light, so why are you going so hard? Why did it floor it to 16 and then have to slam on the brakes to go 30 feet? That's what I hate about this. But we will be taking a right once it turns green. There was a no turn on red. And we're stopping extremely short for this stoplight by about 30 feet. Don't know why we are so close to these cars. Any one of them could open their door at any second. But luckily no one did. We're going 20 and a 30. But this car over here isn't going any faster. I think they were just trying to look for a place to turn, look for their road. Yellow light, but it kept on going and then had to stop harder. The millisecond it saw the light turn yellow, it should have let off the accelerator and just come to a gradual stop. It was still accelerating for a second after it turned yellow, and then that caused it to have to hit the brakes much harder. So we're at that narrow section with all the turns. Slow down to So handled that well. I just got nervous because there was a big puddle in the road. It seemed like it might be a big hole, but no, it was a shallow hole filled with water. So got over to the left to avoid the parking lot on the side of the road. There's a golf course over there that looks unplayable with all the water on it. Let's see. Pay attention to the road. I'm going to turn on the radar here. That's weird. So it zoomed way out once I put on the radar. I don't know where it's turning. So if you're using navigation and you put the radar overlay on, it doesn't work well. I can't really see the roads well, and it's not zoomed in to where I am. But as you can see, the rain is coming. This is the future radar that the Tesla shows. Right now, it's somewhat dry. Thought it was supposed to be heavy rain all day, but I found a dry spot. But the heavy rain is coming this afternoon. It's supposed to be really bad from like 1 to 6 p.m. Good timing for the afternoon rush hour. I'm going to turn that weather overlay off because it's better to see where you're going. Can't really look at the radar while you're using full self-driving. Keep your eyes on the road. If I have the weather on and I move this over, nope, it doesn't put the weather overlay on the full self-driving map. And it doesn't keep it up on the navigation. Weather is off now, but oh well. I was hoping that when you have the navigation on, it would have the radar on the map while you're driving this proper zoom level and you can actually see the roads. So you could see if I'm about to drive into rain, but you have to turn it on somehow. I guess you just tap the side. I was tapping the aspect, the navigation angle. You have to tap below that, and that brings up the weather option. That zoom is way out. It also doesn't differentiate between snow and rain. That would be a very helpful feature while driving, so you know that you're about to cross into the snow section, cross over the rain snow line. It's green, but there are cars coming, so it did a good job just pulling up to prepare for the turn. And perfect. Except for the actual turn, where it jerked the wheel a bit. Slow down. I had to brake, even though the car's brake lights were on the whole time. Do not block intersection. There is room. Wheel's freaking out. Okay, so it was stopping to not block the intersection, perhaps, and then it saw there was room, so it pulled up. It worked, except for the wheel freaking out so much. Whoa, it crossed over the yellow line. There's a red light ahead. We're still going 40. Let's start slowing down now. And it had to hit the friction brakes. It had clear view of the red light for a long time. For some reason, it knew it had to turn left, but it, for a second, moved over to the right lane and then got back to the left lane. There's a red light. You can slow down, and it's using friction brakes again. Properly, when it turned left, it got into the first lane, the left lane of this 2-lane road, and then put its signal on and got into the right lane. That was good there. It was really just the one time I had to take over when it started raining very hard. And unfortunately, I guess, it hasn't been raining hard this whole drive, besides that very beginning. So I really didn't have to take over besides in parking lots and to start the drive. So besides that one time where it totally disengaged because of the rain. Just a lot of small things that make the ride uncomfortable. Like again, it knew there was a red light. It zoomed up to it. The jerkiness of the steering wheel. Other than that, it is doing a great job. Pulling up to a level 2 charger here. Be great if it backed right into it. I did put the pin right on the spot, but I know I'm gonna have to take over. So the charger is right here. If it just backs into this spot, instead I have to turn off full self-driving. And then I want to pick this spot that it passed. I don't know why auto park is unavailable. There's a camera obstruction. I'm going to put it into reverse. There's no one. Oh, there is a camera obstruction. There's a raindrop on the camera. So that's useless. I can't auto park because there's a raindrop on the camera. How is it going to robo-taxi and back into parking spots? It can't even see behind it. How will it know when to avoid cars around it that are coming up from behind? Alrighty, charger. I have some friends here while I'm charging up. I made it through Thanksgiving unscathed.